Okay, today I'm going to be showing you how to replace the solenoid on your golf cart. Your solenoid can be located in a bunch of different places, but almost always underneath the seat. And once you see what it looks like, it's pretty easy to find. Mine's underneath this cover, so I'm just going to take these two clips out of the cover, and that'll get us access to it. And there we have the solenoid. Now, if you're wondering why you might need to replace your solenoid, it is probably the most common problem when your golf cart quits moving when you press the accelerator. If forward or reverse, when you press the accelerator, if the golf cart either doesn't move if it's electric or doesn't start if it's gas, it is almost always the solenoid. So let's start by removing one of the terminals of the battery. So I'm just going to remove the positive terminal. This is for safety and to make sure you don't damage your golf cart. If you want, I'm going to make another video on how to test your solenoid so that you don't just replace it blindly because your golf cart doesn't go, because it's not always the issue. So take a look in the description. Once I get it posted, I'll add the other video in the description. But today we're just going to be talking about how to replace it and how anybody could do this at home with literally nothing more than a socket and a ratchet, the correct sockets and a ratchet. So I like to start by actually removing the bolts that hold the solenoid to your golf cart. You'll generally have between 2 and 4 of these. In this case, I technically have 2 on the top, and then there's also a metal plate that kind of holds it in place, but not really. So you start by removing the bolts that actually hold the solenoid to your golf cart, wherever that might be. And one of the tips I also like to mention is hold up your new solenoid and kind of compare it to your old one. Make sure they look similar size, make sure they have the same terminals. That's really important because a lot of times you order them, you get the wrong one, and then you get, halfway into this process and realize it won't work. And then my other tip is what I'm going to do here. So I like to, especially if you're not familiar with the wiring on your golf cart, I recommend you take a picture with your phone, first of all, just so you make sure you don't mess the wiring up going back. But one of the tips for people who aren't super familiar with this is once you disconnect a wire from your old solenoid, immediately connect it to the new solenoid. That way you know you're putting it in the right place and you don't end up with the old solenoid out, the new solenoid in your hand, and all these wires, and now you're having to go back to that picture you took, and you still might mess it up. So if you simply take the wire off the old one, put it on the new one, that basically guarantees you're not going to mess it up. Now, another thing you may see on solenoids, you don't see this very often, but if you ever have your solenoid get stuck, closed, you actually can't stop your golf cart. So you might be going full speed, you let off the accelerator, and the golf cart keeps going. That's a sign of a bad solenoid as well. You don't see it very often. And for emergencies, if this happens, if you let go of the accelerator and your golf cart doesn't stop, almost all golf carts have an ignition switch, or switch it to neutral, or do something so that you don't hurt yourself or hurt others. And I've sped these videos up. Hopefully, I'm not very fast anyway, so maybe this is normal speed for you, but I sped them up so you didn't have to watch me just moving wires. So I'm doing exactly what I told you. I'm removing one wire from the old solenoid, or I'm removing all the wires from a single terminal and connecting them to the new solenoid, just so I make sure I don't accidentally mess any of this up. And then once you get all these on, it's really important that you make sure these nuts are secure. If not, it can actually cause a spark, and these batteries actually generate hydrogen gas while being discharged. We have actually seen batteries explode in a golf cart because of a spark being generated because of loose terminals. So make sure these terminals are really tight. And also, while I'm here, if you aren't subscribed, please click the subscribe button. And if this video helps you, click like. If it doesn't, click dislike. That's fine with me. And if you need any help with your golf cart, post in the comments below. I'm happy to help you do the best I can. I try to answer all the comments for as long as I can, so if you post something, I'll do my best to get back to you. So once you get all the new wires connected, again, like I mentioned, make sure they're pretty tight. You don't want to over tighten them because you could break off the post, but just make sure they're nice and snug, and if you kind of shake on the wire, the nut doesn't come loose. So once you get them all tight, make sure the solenoid is very securely fastened to your golf cart again as well. And that's about it. You should be good to go. Of course, after you do all this, the last step is going to be to reconnect whatever terminal of the battery you removed. and then give it a test. And one last thing I was going to tell you, the reason I had to replace ours wasn't because our golf cart wouldn't go all the time. It's because frequently in the middle of wherever we might be, it would just stop. It wouldn't go, and then we could press the accelerator 10 times, and maybe 1 out of those 10 times it would start working again. So we replaced the solenoid, and we've had no trouble since. So that's another symptom you may see. So I hope this video helps. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to post below. Do my best to answer them. And as always, hope you have a great new year, and we'll see you guys and girls next time. Thanks for watching.